coming up tonight on the news at 6. The legislature is taking aim at inclusionary zoning rules, what that could mean for affordable housing in the state. Plus,
our pets are family.
So that's why you keep
This
going.
dog is coming home.
the story of a lost dog bringing people together for a common goal.
From Montana's news leader, this is MTN News at 6.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the News at 6. I'm Marian Davidson. Thanks for joining us. The Montana House endorsed a bill to stop local governments from adopting inclusionary zoning rules requiring a certain amount of affordable housing development. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian explains how it could impact some affordable housing plans already in place.
Two cities in Montana, Whitefish and Bozeman, have implemented inclusionary zoning programs, requiring new developments to include a certain percentage of homes for low and middle income buyers. But House Bill 259 would prevent them from using that type of restriction. The bill passed an initial vote in the House Monday, 65 to 35. It would block local governments from requiring builders to pay a fee or set property aside to support housing for specific income levels or at specific sale prices, either as zoning rules or as a condition for approving a subdivision. Supporters said they understand the need for affordable housing in Montana, but that these mandates discourage new construction and shift costs to other home buyers.
It doesn't deny a tool to address affordable housing. It takes away a weapon that has been proven damaging across the country and in those few locations that have already attempted to use it here in Montana.
Opponents said that local elected officials are the best ones to decide how to address affordable housing in their communities, and that the state shouldn't interfere.
There's lots of opportunities to develop without having to participate or develop within one of two communities statewide that have chosen through ample input in decision-making in their communities.
The bill must pass a final vote in the House before being transmitted to the Senate. In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
All but 2 House Republicans voted for HB 259, while all Democrats opposed it. And in the latest federal COVID-19 aid package approved by Congress, Montana has up to $200 million in assistance for people having trouble paying their rent or heating bills. But so far, state lawmakers have only authorized spending $17 million of it. MTN's Mike Dennison reports.
At a meeting of lawmakers Monday, state commerce officials said they're estimating that $44 million in this federal aid could be distributed to as many as 8,000 Montana households through the end of June. And there remains an additional $150 million available if the need is there. That money is meant for people who have been unemployed or underemployed because of COVID-19 and are unable to pay rent or heating bills. Cheryl Cohen of the State Housing Division said it's estimating that between 10,000 and 30,000 Montanans could fall into this predicament. And she says there may be 10,000 potential evictions when a March 31st eviction moratorium ends. Cohen said the state hopes to leave no stone unturned in its efforts to promote the program. State Senator Mike Lang, a Republican from Malta, said he hopes the state is making it easier for people to apply in all areas of the state, electronically and by telephone.
There's a lot of stones in eastern Montana that maybe need to be turned over, so please make sure those people understand it.
Both tenants and landlords can apply for the money. Yet, while the state is gearing up to launch its program to distribute this assistance, so far the legislature has authorized only $17 million to be spent. Some lawmakers at Monday's meeting said there's ways to add money into the budget, but took no immediate action. Still, anyone who thinks they might be eligible for the program can find out more at emergencyrentalassistance.mt.gov or call the state at 406-841-2830. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
The program is set to begin as soon as Governor Greg Gianforte signs a bill authorizing the first $17 million of the money. And the eviction moratorium issued by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is not protecting all mobile home residents. A loophole allows financially hurting landlords to evict residents who fall too far behind on their rent. Experts say since many struggling mobile homeowners cannot afford to move their home if they get an eviction warning, many just leave them behind, and in some cases, those homes become abandoned property and can be resold. The Private Equity Stakeholder Project reports 620 mobile home evictions from August through January. All right, now it's time for First Weather. And Curtis, it feels so good to finally be above zero.
It does. And I mean, even our wind chills are above zero right now, but we are not done with winter here just yet. You can see on my right here, my left, a wind chill advisory still closer to North Dakota and weighing up in northeast Montana and a lot of central and western Montana under a winter weather advisory. We've got some snow coming through, but as Marion alluded to, much warmer air. Look at these numbers. These are not the air temperatures. The air temperature still is pretty cold out there, but we're moving in the right direction. A lot of Montana is a good 10 to 15, 20 degrees, even Dillon, 29 degrees warmer right now than where we were yesterday at this time. It's warmer winter weather. It still is winter though, and we are not through with sub-zero temperatures yet this winter. I do think they will come back maybe next week. Snow sticking around for the next few days, and gone was the wind. Certainly was nice, even though it was cold. We didn't have really powerful winds. Well, some of that wind is roaring back. More of the forecast coming up.
All right, thanks, Curtis. Today, the state Senate advanced a bill meant to reserve some non-resident deer and elk hunting licenses for people who want to hire outfitters in Montana. But before the vote, the Senate substantially amended the measure, and the sponsor was not happy about it. In its original form, Senate Bill 143 reserved 39% of non-resident big game hunting licenses for outfitter clients. Now, outfitters had come out in strong support of the bill, saying they needed the assurance that their clients will get licenses rather than being subject to a lottery. But on the floor of the Senate, Democrats and some Republicans amended the bill to take out this set aside for outfitters. Instead, they said non-resident hunters who want to hire an outfitter can pay $300 extra for a license and enter an exclusive early draw to try and get a tag. The amendment passed by a single vote, 26 to 24. The bill's sponsor, Republican Jason Ellsworth of Hamilton, voted for the final version of the bill, but indicated he may try to change it back once it reaches the House.
I guess as it stands, I'm not in full support, but I guess that's also the reason why we have two different bodies. So I will be working on this with the House and hopefully getting this back on the path that it belongs.
The Senate endorsed the bill on a 27 to 23 vote, and it faces a final Senate vote later this week before it goes to the House. Taking a look at Montana's COVID-19 situation, active cases in Montana continue to fall, remaining below 3,000. Just over 150 additional COVID-19 cases were reported in the state today, and active hospitalizations also fell. Currently, 92 people are hospitalized with the virus here in Montana. 2 additional deaths were reported today, which brings the statewide death total to 1,341. MTN uses a combination of state and local data to report COVID-19 cases and deaths here in Montana. And still ahead on the news at 6, you may have seen this dog on social media over the weekend, how the community is coming together to find Brody.
News Leader. You're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back to the news at 6. This is a story that has touched the hearts of many dog lovers. A dog got separated from his family after a crash on the highway, missing for several days in frigid temperatures. But the family is not alone in searching for him. MTN's John Amy has the story.
When Brody, the golden lab, went missing last week after a traffic accident on Interstate 90 just east of Butte, many locals in the community were eager to help find the dog.
I'm a dog owner, a dog mom, and I can't stand to have dogs missing.
Brody was in the car with his owners, a couple from Washington, when they were hit by a truck on the highway on Homestake Pass the morning of February the 11th. While no one was seriously injured, the frightened dog ran away from the accident scene. Volunteers from Butte spent the next several days searching for the dog in rugged territory and sub-zero temperatures. They searched using snowshoes, all-terrain vehicles, snowmobiles, and even their own dogs. Brody was eventually found alive on the 4th day.
We know he's down there, and we know he's in good spirits. He seems to be healthy. He just won't come to anybody.
The dog's owners had to return to Washington before Brody was found, but a group of volunteers stayed on scene to watch in hopes that the timid dog would come to them. The dog's owners are grateful to the Butte volunteers.
They've been devastated. They're so thankful. Nobody will let them pay for anything. They want to donate to our community. They want to move here. So I was born and raised in Butte, and I'm very proud of our community.
Well, these folks in Butte, they don't know this couple from Washington, but it didn't stop them from getting out here and sacrificing their weekend and volunteering their time to find Brody because, well, that's just the Butte way.
Our pets are not a pet. Our pets are family.
So that's why you get
This dog is coming home. This dog is coming home.
All right, that was John Amy reporting, and people have had visual contact with Brody, and they are attempting to lure him to them. All right, now with another look at the weather, here's Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz.
Gotta love those stories coming out of Butte that just pull on the heartstrings, always from John Amy there. We've got cold air. Actually, it's colder in parts of Texas right now than it is in parts of Montana. Cold air, all right, it won't be as cold, but it's gonna still be winter here through the rest of this week. A little warmer air heading our way this weekend and early next week, but watch what happens maybe towards the middle of next week. Another surge of some pretty cold stuff. I'll have more of the forecast plus Weatherwise coming up next.
With Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Montana has just endured a brutal stretch of record cold, and meteorologists and others pretending to be one on TV have been telling you to be careful and bundle up, to use caution, and rightfully so. But now in this week's Weatherwise, there are ways to have some sciencey fun with the cold. The recent cold has been dangerous and tough to be outside in. If you did safely venture outside, perhaps you had a little fun too. Frozen soapy bubbles might be the oldest trick in the book, but they are a guaranteed blast every time. There's always the frozen pants challenge that's super viral on the tick books and face spaces of the world these days. Throw wet pants outside and see if you can stand them upright. Making spaghetti or ramen noodles, you could always make some weird formations. Sticking with the food theme, ice cream snow or maple syrup candy would make for some sticky, icy treats. If you have a balloon, fill it with air inside and bring it outside into the cold and watch it deflate. Bring it back inside and it comes back to life, sort of. And when it's really cold, you can always make your own snow. Now this one requires extreme caution because you are dealing with scalding hot water that burns. Parental responsible supervision is required because of the water that's scalding hot before it freezes in the air. And now, you're a little more Weatherwise. Do you think I was good enough with my warning on that? Hot water, watch out, scalding, boiling, hot water. So please use extreme caution if you are going to try that. But temperatures are actually warming up here, and that experiment won't work quite as well as those numbers come up. But a little light snow in Monarch. We've had some snow for the last few hours around the Boulder Pass area. Snow lifting enough so that you could see Discovery Mountain over there west of the Continental Divide. And in Great Falls, we've had a little snow here. And yeah, it's warm because it's 3 degrees above zero, but it still is cold. If you told anybody else in the country that it's 3 degrees and you're happy about it, they'd probably think you've succumbed to the cold. In Helena right now, 14 double digits above zero, and we've had a little light snow flying for the last few hours. Current readings, at least here on the map, there are a few places in between Great Falls and Cut Bank that are below zero, but the only place below zero right now, Cut Bank at 3 degrees below zero. Wind chills, Jordan, Glasgow, Havre, Great Falls proper, and Cut Bank still wind chills below zero here. But again, we're not 40, 50, 60 below zero. We're 10, 15 degrees below zero. Central, western Montana under a winter weather advisory through tonight into tomorrow morning, up to 2 inches in the valleys and the plains, and as much as maybe 5 or 6 into the mountains. There you can see that snow, again, mainly in western and central areas. We've had some snow in Helena, but again, sometimes in winter, the radar has a tough time picking up that snow. It has been snowing, it is snowing, although the radar says it's having a tough time identifying that snow. Snow throughout a lot of Cascade County into Choteau County, into Choteau itself, Teton, around Glacier County here as well, picking up some snow, and that snow making its way as far as about Loma, Big Sandy, maybe a few flakes here. Fort Benton and Highwood, Geraldine, Shonkin picking up a little snow, and it's more than just a little snow falling through the Ohio River Valley. And boy, this produced some snow as far south as the Gulf Coast into Texas. Texas, record snow, record cold, all-time record cold. Boy, it's been really tough in the south here. Winter storm warnings from Maine all the way down into Texas, and we still have wind chill advisories and wind chill warnings for most of the prairies here of the country, but that cold air, the Arctic air, is slowly moving away. Now, scattered snow showers will continue here through the rest of this evening, tapering off a bit through tomorrow morning. However, we'll see a few more snow showers continuing into the higher terrain through a lot of Tuesday here. Tuesday night into Wednesday, another round of snow will likely come through with a little light accumulation in the lower elevations and another 5-6 inches into the mountains. And then that snow will taper off by late on Wednesday. But we could have some pretty good heavy snow bands into the mountains for Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening. Additional snow where you see a shade of gray, maybe about an inch or two. Where you see the shade of pink in the mountains, there could be more than 6 inches by the time we get into Wednesday afternoon and evening. Tonight, still cold, still dangerous, not as bad. We're not 20, 30, 40 degrees below zero, single digits below zero, and even above zero with some light snow and roads not melting away anytime soon, the snow on the roads, that is. For tomorrow, some areas of snow, mainly into the mountains, still pretty chilly, teens and 20s, even a few 30s out there tomorrow afternoon. For Wednesday, a little light snow in the morning, becoming snow showery by the afternoon. A little more sunshine, northeast Montana. Staying fairly chilly, these numbers running about 10 to 15 degrees below normal here on Thursday, although we've got a decent amount of sunshine. And then a little system moving through with some snow showers late Friday night into Saturday. And here's the 7-day forecast for Helena. So a couple of light snow showers tonight, tomorrow, Wednesday morning, Friday and Saturday, a few snow showers around. Look at the warm-up going up into the 30s and 40s for Friday into next Monday. We could be almost even 50 degrees by next Monday. And for Great Falls, yeah, still pretty chilly, slick roads for the next few days. Warmer this weekend, but there will be some pretty strong wind returning, stronger than we've seen in a few weeks.
All right, thanks, Curtis. Coming up, we sat down with the new head of the Montana Department of Corrections. More coming up next.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back to the News at 6. For the first time since his Senate confirmation, former Gallatin County Sheriff Brian Gutkin sat down with MTN News, talking everything from his new role as the director of the Montana Department of Corrections to his decades with the Sheriff's Office. Tonight at 10, hear from Gutkin about his time as a patrol deputy, serving on the Missouri River Drug Task Force, and as sheriff, and learn about his new focuses as the director of the Montana Department of Corrections, like redefining recidivism in Montana.
I'm always a Gallatin County resident. I always love Gallatin County and the people here. And no matter what I'm doing statewide to try and help make things better, my heart's always here, and I'll always do whatever I can to make sure that people are safe.
Now make sure to tune in tonight at 10 for the full story with Brian Gutkin right here on KTVH. And we'll wrap things up here on the News at 6 when we come back.
News leader, you're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back to the News at 6. If you thought shoveling your driveway was difficult, think about trying to remove several inches of snow from more than 500 feet above Seattle. This was the scene at the Space Needle, where there were several inches of snow piled up outside on the observation deck. To remove it, crews had to get shovels and rolling bins and take the snow down in elevators. The Space Needle was planning to hold a special Valentine's Day event on its deck Sunday night, but that had to be moved inside. All right, and that does it for the news at 6. We'll be back here tonight at 10 with your latest local headlines and another look at the weather. We'll see you then. Have a good evening.